Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been a few days since I made a video. Been really busy. Hopefully things are slowing down to where I can get back on track to get my videos made on time. Anyway, we're going to talk about what I will have tied on in the month of June, or July. July. Water temperatures for most lakes around here is mid-80s. Up in the more stained water, could be up near 90. Table Rock's a little over a foot low. Beavers pretty close to pool stage too, just like Table Rock and Bull Shoals and all that. Fishing's been really good on Bull Shoals and Table Rock. They've been catching some good ones on beaver. And guy I know's been going over to Uchi in Oklahoma and catching some big ones. He had, it was a couple nights ago, he had one that was about 7 pounds, and then the next night he had one about 5 pounds. And so it's good fishing over there, sounds like. 10 killers, catching them on 10 killer. And, so fishing's doing really good right now. So get out there and catch you some. But what I am going to have tied on in the month of July, number one is a Zoom Old Monster worm. I'm going to have the Old Monster on there for sure. This is like my favorite color right here, the plum. Kind of purple with a blue flake in it. But that is an awesome color. I use it on beaver, Table Rock, Bull Shoals, Uchi. I really like the red shad, which is a black and red worm on Uchi. They really like that black and red over there really well. But this plum is my favorite color. I Texas rig it most of the time. If you don't know what a Texas rig is, put a comment in this video and I'll get back to you and then have a video of how to rig a Texas rig. I think I've already done rigging a Texas rig in one of my other videos if you want to go look at one of the other ones. Or another way that I love to fish a big worm is with this wobble head. Get your worm. This is a Texas rig style. How I'm hooking it. But instead of a slip sinker above my hook, instead of a slip sinker above my hook, it's got the wobble head. Get your worm up there. You can see that this went down a 1/4 inch or less and pulled it up there to where the hook bends. And then you look right here where the bottom of the hook is, and so that's how much you pinch up on your worm to insert it back in to make sure you have a good straight worm. You also want to bring the hook out just a little bit and then barely have it under the skin of the hook right there. That way it's weedless, but when the fish bites it, the hook will pop right out, and right there's the point, and you can set the hook on the fish. But again, this is how you put a worm on a worm hook. if you're going to Texas rig, a Texas rig, like I said, it'll have a slip sinker above it. I prefer 3/16, a quarter, or at the most a 3/8. But most time I'm throwing a 3/16 or maybe a quarter, depends on the wind and depth that I'm fishing. If I'm fishing down to 15 feet or so, it's always a 3/16 unless it's really windy. Get deeper than 15 feet, I usually go up to a quarter, just so you don't have to wait so long to get your worm down. But if there's not much wind, you can use a 3/16 and just wait, and you still get a lot more bites with that 3/16 weight than you do quarter, and then definitely a 3/8. But here's how you put a worm on a worm hook. Just pretend this doesn't have a wobble head on it, just a regular worm hook. You go in about a 1/4 inch, come back out, thread your worm up on your hook over the bend of the hook, just like that. Pinch your worm up on it and get it in the, make sure you get it in the plastic good. You got your, if you're fishing areas is just gravel and stuff, you can just leave your hook out like that. But if you're fishing brush piles and rock piles and stuff like I do, you just take it and just barely pick it up and pinch it right over the point of the hook, and that's got it totally weedless. You can run your finger over it, you can't feel the hook, but as soon as the fish bites it, pulls it in, and your hook comes out, and you got the fish hook stuck. That's gonna be my favorite way to fish this time of year, July, August, September, is that big worm, either Texas rig or on that wobble head. Also, wobble head with a big bite bait, fighting frog on it is another one of my favorites, or a Zoom Ultra Vibe. If they want a smaller profile bait, that Zoom Ultra Vibe is also a good one to put on here. You put them on here the same way you do this big worm, a Texas style type, putting it on your hook, just like I showed you there, and go to work on them. Another bait that I will be using will be a football head jig. You can throw it off of long points, drops, bluff ends, places like that around. And if you can find fish still up shallow, you want to pitch them around brush and lay downs and other cover around the bank, up shallow. Put up another bait that I'll be throwing is a top water. I like a buzz bait, True Faith Custom Baits buzz bait. This brand new, never been in the water. And listen to that whine. That's what you want in a good buzz bait. 10-4. During the daylight hours, I'll usually be fishing a mouse color, or I will be throwing a spook style bait, a prop style bait, like a devil's horse, or a popper. Poppers and devil's horses and walking style baits are great around bluegill beds, and you can get them bass around those bluegill beds all the way anywhere from May all the way to October. As long as that water temperature is over 70 degrees, 65, 70 degrees, the bluegill will be spawning. They spawn all summer long. Hit the full moons and you'll find bluegill spawning. fish after the sun gets up, and before it starts settling down, where there's more shade on the water, you run those coves and run the shade line of the overhanging trees, and you can catch fish all day long on the top waters doing that. Throw the jig, big worm, around those bluegill beds, as well as fishing them out deeper, and you'll catch a lot of fish that way. Well, this video is already 10 minutes long, so I'm going to get off of here, and we're going to talk about night fishing in my next video. I do want to show you one worm that I found here just recently. It's a culprit, made by Culprit, and it's called a shaken Neko craw. Shaken Neko craw. It's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to trying it out. Kind of a long bait. This is plum apple. This is the color of this one. It's pretty cool looking little bait, and I'm looking forward to trying it. It's already got a place right there. Molded in the bait for your O-ring to go right there. And if you want to, it's when you rig it wacky style, it will hang like this, and when it's on the bottom and you pull it, it's gonna have more of a movement, just like a crawdad. Just think about a crawdad swimming in the water. They do this to propel themselves, and so that bait's going to do that as you work it through the water, as you work it along the bottom. Put you a real small nail weight in here to give it some weight so it'll go to the bottom. I usually use a 32nd, 16th or 32nd ounce nail weight. Let it go to the bottom, and you can start working it, and it's going to work backwards. As you pull it, it's going to work backwards, and it's going to bend just like a crawdad will as it's trying to get his tail to propel itself away from you. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. I think that'll be a good fish catcher. I don't think many fish have seen this thing yet, because I think it's pretty new. From what I've heard, it's a fairly new bait. So I'm looking forward to giving it a try. The old Neko craw. Try shaking Neko craw. Anyway, well, I'm going to sign off of here for now. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Please subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I put out another video, and share it with your friends. Please share it with your friends, and we can get the channel growing. Anyway, have a blessed week, blessed weekend, and I will see you in the next video.